Can Elon Musk's controversies harm Tesla's financial future? With sales data set to drop and Musk's polarizing presence casting a shadow, the electric giant faces a crossroads. Will loyalty to Musk's vision prevail, or will the brand collapse under controversy? These and many more will be explored in today's Flash News. Good afternoon and welcome. I am Tabitha Ako. Let's begin. Investors are on edge as the electric car maker prepares to release its first quarter delivery data on April 2nd. The numbers are expected to relieve a dip in global demand compared to the same period last year, raising concerns about the company's financial trajectory. The anticipated decline comes amid a wave of protests against Tesla's CEO Elon Musk, with demonstrations held at showrooms worldwide. As investors brace for potential losses, it remains present that Elon Musk's controversial actions and political involvement could significantly damage Tesla's long-term profitability. Well, the upcoming data is expected to show a decrease in deliveries, predicted to fall between 355,000 and 360,000, about 7% lower than the same period last year. Wall Street had initially forecasted around 400,000 deliveries. Dan Eves, managing director at Wedbush Securities and a prominent Tesla supporter, warned of a brand tornado crisis moment. He attributes approximately 30% of the anticipated decline to the negative perception linked to Musk's role in the Trump's administration. Specifically, his involvement in the controversial Department of Government Efficiency DOGE. This advisory body has faced criticism for implementing cost-cutting policies and redundancies which have tarnished Musk's public image. Meanwhile, the delivery dip is also influenced by consumer anticipation of an updated Model Y and a lower-cost model slated for release by summer. While it's been argued that the product's refreshes could temporarily affect sales, others believe Musk's divisive public persona is significantly damaging the brand. Also, Matthias Koppmate, an electric car analyst based in Berlin, noted that Musk's political associations are alienating Tesla's traditionally liberal customer base. He suggested that Musk's continued involvement could further erode the brand's appeal. Well, does Tesla need a leadership change to restore its brand image? Very necessary. However, the situation is further complicated by the recent announcement from President Donald Trump of a 25% tariff on overseas cars, which could also affect Tesla despite its American manufacturing base. Tesla imports supports parts from overseas, and Musk acknowledged that tariffs pose a significant challenge for the company. This could further raise shockwaves through the global auto industry, forcing automakers to raise prices. Meanwhile, in a striking contrast, Trump dismissed concerns about the potential price hike, arguing that it would encourage Americans to buy domestically made cars. As the political and economic landscape becomes more complex, investors are left questioning the impact of Musk's political entanglement on Tesla's market stability. Should Tesla's board reconsider Musk's leadership to protect the company from political fallout? Well, the current controversy surrounding Elon Musk and his companies has been challenging for the billionaire. The American people should do better. He may just have a good cause for his Department of Government Efficiency initiative. Let's take a look at this video as Elon Musk supporters counter-protest on Tesla takedown in Meridian, Idaho.
Stay together. They will try to get you to do things to isolate yourself. Stay with the group. We will remain united in both our desire to make things better and our physical space. I think they were a timeless representation of standing strong for what you believe in, and I think that fits in any political environment. Boycott Tesla! Boycott Tesla! Boycott Tesla! Literally Hitler! Everywhere I go, people say Nazi, racist, fascist. So I have become literally Hitler! It's very good. It's nice that you were not born yesterday. Literally Hitler. I am here for Antifa's enjoyment.
Happening, the dismantling of our government and our Constitution is really scary. I don't think there's going to be another election that isn't going to be corrupt, and he's going to stay in power, and things are only going to get worse. It's very important. It's a critical time in our country. It's real easy to be one of the sheeple, unfortunately. It's real easy to be one of the popular kids. It's a lot harder to stand up for your rights and your...
While the controversy rages, Elon still has some supporters. Well, moving forward over to Spain, tragedy strikes as mine explosion in Spain claims 5 lives. Could negligence be the blame? At least 5 people have lost their lives following a devastating explosion at a mine in northern Spain, officials confirmed. The incident occurred at the Ciredo mine in Dagana, Asturias, about 450 kilometers northwest of Madrid around 9:30 on Monday. The blast reportedly involved a problem with a machine, according to emergency services. Ambulances, fire and rescue services were promptly dispatched to the site as investigators pieced together what led to the tragedy. Could lapses in safety protocols have contributed to the disaster? Authorities are still investigating the case of the explosion. At least 4 other individuals sustained injuries, with 2 initially reported missing but later found. All 5 victims were residents of Spain's northwestern province of Leon, aged between 32 and 54. According to the Spanish government's delegation in Asturias, the injured have been taken to local hospitals for treatment, while the mining rescue brigade, including its canine unit, remains on site. Moving on, local reports suggest that workers were operating under a permit to extract minerals from graphite production. The mine, once a significant anthracite extraction site before its closure in 2018, has since been intermittently reopened by private companies. However, concerns have risen regarding whether the mine's intermittent use and private management may have led to gaps in safety oversight. Could a more stringent safety protocol have prevented the loss of lives? Well, in response to the tragedy, Asturias President Adrian Barbon declared 2 days of mourning in the region. The civil protection plan, activated at its lowest level, indicates that the situation is considered manageable by local resources. Meanwhile, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez extended his condolences on X, wishing a speedy recovery to those injured. As Spain grieves this loss, the tragedy has sparked a broader conversation about mining safety regulations, particularly at sites that have been intermittently reopened. As investigation continues, one pressing question remains: are current safety measures in Spain's mining sector sufficient to prevent such accidents in the future? A very necessary question at that. Well, moving over on African scene, Zimbabwe witnessed an unexpected shutdown rather than mass protests as citizens choose to stay indoors instead of demonstrating against President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Despite calls from war veterans and protest leader Blessed Geza to fill the streets in a final push to force Mnangagwa's resignation, only a few demonstrations turned up, quickly dispersed by police. Was this a strategic act of resistance through silence or a sign of fear overcoming the will to protest? The planned protest was initiated by a group of disgruntled war veterans who have accused Mnangagwa of corruption and clinging to power. Geza, who advocates for Vice President Constantine Chiwenga to take over, expressed his frustration on X, urging Zimbabweans not to be cowards. However, the visible reluctance to protest raises questions about whether the heavy security presence deterred participation or if there is a deeper reluctance to publicly oppose the president. Also, on social media was flooded with videos throughout the day showing police using tear gas to break up gatherings, including at President Robert Mugabe Square in Harare. Protesters lamented the dire economic conditions they face. Despite these bold statements, the low turnout suggested that fear of a harsh crackdown outweighed the desire to demand change. Meanwhile, government representatives downplayed the protests, with Firai Murapira from the ruling ZANU-PF party dismissing social media as disconnected from reality. Yet, political scientist Ibo Mandaza argued that the shutdown itself was a powerful political statement reflecting widespread disillusionment rather than apathy. Is the lack of street protest truly an indication of loyalty to Mnangagwa, or does it reflect a population too fearful to openly challenge authority? Across major cities and towns, businesses remained closed. Streets were empty, and even schools and public transport were affected. In Harare, police intensified security measures, setting up roadblocks and patrolling the city center. They also cleared stones and cement blocks left by the few protesters who ventured out. The clergy warned against escalating unrest, emphasizing the potential harm to Zimbabwe's fragile stability. At the heart of the controversy is speculation about Mnangagwa's alleged plan to extend his term by 2 years, prolonging his presidency to 2030 despite constitutional limits. Although he recently assured the public he would step down in 2028, many remain skeptical. This uncertainty has fueled tension, with some, including Geza, viewing Mnangagwa's continued leadership as a betrayal of the nation's democratic aspirations. Geza, a veteran of the 1970s Liberation War and former ZANU-PF senior member, has been vocal in his criticism of Mnangagwa. In a series of emotionally charged press conferences, he repeatedly called on the president to step down, warning of possible forced removal if he did not comply. Well, coming to the climax of these reports, as Zimbabwe navigates its political impasse, the streets are quiet. Fear of protest still looms. However, the hesitation among citizens is caught between dissatisfaction with leadership and a desire to maintain peace. Well, is Mnangagwa's leadership on the brink of collapse, or will the president continue to consolidate power despite growing discontent? Until next time, this is where we'll be drawing the curtain on today's edition of Flash News. Remember, we're bringing you recent happenings from the home front, with the La Republic de Cameroon attacking Ambazonian culture again. These and many more at the top of the hour, 8 p.m. Until then, do have a pleasant day and stay safe.